हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So we are hearing here the how Priyavrat Maharaj, he from a great yogi, he left his home, he was a renunciate, and again he enters into family life. So that was a big surprise for Parikshit Maharaj. So he asked this question: household life is the root cause of bondage of karma because there are fruitive activities. This is the main reason for bondage, because of these fruitive activities. Because we always want some result in that. So that is the main problem with family life. People are interested in some sort of results. Otherwise that should not be a problem. So fruitive activities is the problem. And then he has another doubt, because devotees are fully satisfied. They are fully satisfied because they are at the shade of Lord's lotus feet. And then the Mahatmas cannot be absorbed in family affairs also. This is another big problem, that their absorption is on Krishna. Again, to get absorption, how is it possible? So this is this question. So then the main thing is a person like King Priyavrat, who was, then how is it possible for him to get attached to wife, children, and achieve the most topmost infallible perfection in Krishna consciousness? So in spite of all these things, how can he achieve? Because that is the purpose. He is already in that path, and now you are bringing back and putting in family life, and after that, how can he achieve perfection? So that was his question. So he was trained by Narada Muni, and he says, no, I am not going to do this. So his senses are fully engaged in the service of Lord, which we all want to aspire for. So we want to see that our senses are always engaged in the Lord. He viewed the kingdom as a poisonous ocean of material desires. So very great elevated personality. So although ordered by his father, he rejected, fearing diversion from his constant remembrance of Lord. So can you imagine? He is telling no to kingdom and everything because he is able to do. He was actually achieved perfection in it. Then comes Brahmaji. So from here onwards, it's a different twist. So we will just see what Brahmaji is telling. The first thing he told is, don't be envious. So we are discussing this yesterday also. This is the most important thing. Whether we are envious or not, we have to check with this. So first thing he tells is, my dear Priyavrat, don't be envious of Supreme Lord. And now it's interesting that Priyavrat is sitting there, and he is meditating on the Supreme Lord, and his grandfather is coming and telling, Array, don't be envious. So why what is that envy? Here is the first thing is, don't be jealous. Do not be jealous of the Supreme Lord. So this is the first instruction, who is beyond our experimental measurement. So why did he say that not be envious or not be jealous? So Prabhupada is writing here, because what is the symptom that we are envious or jealous of Supreme Lord is, we don't want to follow their authority. So that is the proof that we want to do on our own. I want to do the way I want. So that is a symptom of jealousy or envy also. And act, so why one is inclined to perform certain acts despite his desires to do something else is indicated herein. One cannot disobey the orders of Supreme Lord even one is as powerful of Lord's. So the doing things according to I like, I don't like is actually the sinful mentality. So Brahma is trying to make that point only. If I am not following authority, means that is envious nature. If I am complaining, grudging, and all these things, this is all the symptoms of that envy that is present in us. Oh, I don't want to follow. There is complaints on the authority in the temple. Yes, people can have complaints, but they should not be envious and jealous. They should not disobey the orders. So there is a difference in it. If they are telling, okay, you have to follow certain rules and all, they may be having some problems with their personal bhakti. They may not be very elevated as according to our expectations, and they may show some symptoms of weakness. But when it comes to following the rules, we have to follow only. Of course, I am not. I, I am telling by experience that this is a symptom of envy. And that's what Brahma is telling. No matter, one cannot avoid the orders of Supreme Lord. So this is the most important things. What is dharma means? Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranita. Because Lord is telling. And how will I get my dharma? Just follow your authority. That is what is dharma. So accept some authority, start following it. Don't try to disobey. That's what Brahma is telling. Arey, Brahma to ant. Nobody can disobey the orders of Supreme Lord. Arey, why should I do something which I don't like? Because in a long run, it is good for you. That is the point. An ordinary human being or animal who has accepted a material body cannot go beyond the jurisdiction of Supreme Lord's control. We are under his control. He is maintaining me. He is doing everything. Then why shouldn't I follow? So material body includes senses. However, the sense activities of so-called scientists who try to be free from God's law or laws of the nature are useless. So Mama Maya Duratya. It is impossible to surpass the control of material nature. That's what Krishna is telling. And he is telling that Priyavrat should neglect neither of them but should use his intelligence to follow. This is another thing. Now, what is happening is Narada is telling one advice. Now we may say, Priyavrat may say, I am following authority only. Na? Here, Priyavrat may argue that Brahma was requesting him to accept family life and the responsibility for ruling a kingdom. And although Narada Muni has advised him not to enter household life and to be entangled in the material affairs, whom to accept would be a puzzle for Priyavrat, because both Brahma and Narada are authorities. So Priyavrat is telling, I am following authority, why I am doing whimsically. So under the circumstances, the use of the word, so it is indicated that both Narada Muni and Brahma are authorities to give instruction, and Priyavrat should neglect neither of them but should use his intelligence to follow the advice. So here we discuss the example of Arjuna. He was told by Bhima to kill, and he was told by Yudhishthir, Draupadi, Nakusava not to kill. And Krishna is telling, satisfy both. So here Priyavrat Maharaj will enter into family life but also not get entangled, which according to Narada's instruction, not to get entangled in family life and material affairs, so that he will come out. And he comes out also, because and here anasaktasya visham yatarham upanjate nirbhande Krishna sambandhe. How to do it? So Vishyan means material affair should be accepted without attachment, and everything should be dovetailed with the service of Lord. So this is real intelligence. Prabhupada is so nicely giving a practical way. Becoming a family man or a king in material world is not harmful if one accepts everything in Krishna's service. See, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a family man, Prabhupada was a family man, but both are them, they could give up. So why they have to enter into family life? Everybody can come like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and Acharyas. They come and they enter into family life to show that this is the way to live family life, and when time comes you can come out also. That is the greatest, training they are giving. Prabhupada, they have to go through it, and they go through difficulties also in family life, not that everything becomes smooth. And they go through all difficulties which a common man go, to show them how to come out of it. So that is the purpose. If everybody comes like all the acharyas comes and remain like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, then the householders, they will feel, oh, maybe it is not for us, not practical. They say, no, no, see, we went, we came back. And how to become? So becoming a family member, not harmful, but accept everything in Krishna's service. So that necessitates clear intelligence. And the clear intelligence means seeing the connection properly, that we are discussing. If you see the connection, then we will not. If your friend comes and gives you a laptop and says keep for 1 month, and whenever you need you can utilize it, you keep the laptop, you utilize it, but along with that, what you do, you are conscious that it is not mine, and you can properly utilize it. You stay in some house, you pay rent, you stay in tenant, you are a tenant. You know, you are nicely taking care of it, you are nicely staying. The place where we are staying, this is also on rent. It is not our property. But we are properly utilizing all the facilities, we are able to nicely take experience. But thing is, the consciousness is that it's not mine. So anything that we have, our body, wife, husband, children, nothing is yours, just given for some time. Utilize it. Krishna tells, give it back, give it back. So an intelligent devotee in the line of Lord Brahma and great says, they does not consider this world false. Now what happens is, our false ego, no? Anything you are given, it starts making its own. And that is the tendency in children also. You see, they are always grabbing something. Small children you give, they try to hold it. This is the tendency for a living entity. We have this wrong tendency. So this is a perfect way of one's intelligence. And next shloka says, my dear Priyavrat, by the order of Supreme Lord. See how practical is. He is making Priyavrat enter into family life to show an example. So even you go into family life, you can come out. And he is telling, see, very nice point. He says, by the order of Supreme Lord, all living entity accept different types of bodies by birth and death, activity, lamentation, illusion, fear and all, happiness and distress. So this is by the order of Supreme Lord. This is the point. Prakrite kremanani gunai karmani sarvasha. So when we are exploiting, when we don't see the connection, then there is exploitation. When there is a wrong identification. So exploitation of resources and exploitation of people. But what is the identification we should have? I am the servant of Guru. So this is the method that is recommended for all of us. Right? So we want to come out of it. So Brahma's instructions, we'll just take this purport and try to understand. Here it is said that Yad vachi tanayam gunakarma dhamabhi sudarshtarayirvatsta vayam suyojita sarve vahamo balimishvaraya prota nishava dipade chatushpadaha. My dear boy, all of us are bound by the Vedic injunctions by the division of varnashrama according to our qualities and work. These divisions are difficult to avoid because they are scientifically arranged. We must therefore carry out our duties of varnashrama dharma like bulls obliged to move according to the directions of the driver, pulling on ropes knotted to the nose. So this is the most important thing. The dharma is how it is compared. It is compared to the ropes knotted to their nose. So this is the image which we saw in this section. So this is the dharma we have to follow. So he's telling that we must carry out our duties of varnashrama dharma like bulls obliged to move according to the directions of a driver pulling the rope. So what happens if the bull is going in different direction? It causes pain for him. So one cannot avoid orders, supreme order. This is the next point he tells. We'll come to that. So it causes pain only if you do. And why we are unhappy? The unhappiness is because we are pulling in wrong direction. Unhappiness is we are breaking the rules. Now you may say, what rules I am breaking, bro? I am waking up early morning, doing my duties properly, still I am unhappy. See, the rules which, first thing is we already broke some rules. And now what rules we are breaking? We still have false identification. That is the greatest rule breaking. False identification. So this is the rule that we are breaking. So now say if my wife or my husband or my child, he is doing some activity, because we strongly identify with them, we start getting pain. He is not doing like this, he is doing like this. So that attachment causes us pain. So we enjoy wrongly. So first is false identification. Because of false identification, we are enjoying wrongly. What is the wrong enjoyment we are doing? Wrong enjoyment is if you are not offering anything and eating, that is wrong enjoyment. Then you will be unhappy. Yajnasista sinasanto muchante sarvagilvishay bunjate te tvagam papam. You are taking sin if you are not offering and eating. Krishna is very clearly explaining. That means any activity where we are not doing it properly, offering it to Lord and taking, it's all sin only. And now I am enjoying all the properties in the house or whatever I have. If I am not identifying with Krishna and enjoying them, that is wrong enjoyment. Ishavasham idam sarvam etkinchit jagatyam jagat. If we are not understanding as Ishavasha, it is a wrong enjoyment. We are breaking the rules. Otherwise, there is no way you can be unhappy. So unhappiness is because of this rule breaking, wrong identification, we break the rules. So here the purport Prabhupada is telling that Tanayam Guna Karma Dhama Bihi are very important. We each get a body according to our association with gunas, the qualities of modes of material nature, and we act accordingly. So then the society is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. See, if it is not important, why Prabhupada is telling all these things again and again? He is making the point that they are arranged according to guna and karma. So there is some controversy about this. However, because some say that since one receives a body according to guna and karma of his past life, it is one bus that determines the status. But Prabhupada is telling, no, it is guna activities only. So now here the Varnashrama Charat Purushena Parapuma Vishnartha Pumsam Nanya Tatosha Karana. So Prabhupada said one must be situated in the institute of 4 Varnas and Ashramas. All of human society is meant to worship Vishnu. At the present moment, however, human society does not know that this is the ultimate goal or perfection. Therefore, instead of worshipping Vishnu, people have been educated to worship matter. So this is the problem, because identity is not correct. Now, why people are worshipping matter? Everybody is looking at matter nicely. Looking at matter means we are looking on the screen. Now also we are looking at the screen, but now we are trying to look Krishna in the screen. But other times we are looking on. So according to the direction of modern society, men think they can advance in civilization by manipulating matter, by big skyscraper, big roads, automobiles, and so on. Such a civilization must certainly be called materialistic because its people do not know the goal of life. The goal of life is to reach Vishnu, but instead of reaching Vishnu, people are bewildered. You are seeing, we are enjoying wrongly the matter. That is why all the problems are there. It's not that we should not enjoy, but we should enjoy according to the instructions. So, so you follow your rules according to your dharma, and then everything is given. Everything is, Lord is not very cruel. He is merciful. He want to give it. He said, just follow whatever is told, and then person will be elevated to the transcendental platform. So injunction in Vedas are explicit directions for the supreme from the Supreme Lord. The example cited is the bull. So, and Prabhupada writing. Otherwise, if one moves in this way but acts according to our own whimsical ideas, our lives will be spoiled by confusion and will end in despair, and which is happening for the people now. Yash shastra vidim utsijja vartate kamakarta nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gati. So this is the problem that is happening. So here the next verse, Lord Brahma is telling what are the things that will happen. He says that Ishabishta Ishabistam hi avaruddhamahamenaga dukham sukham va gunakarma sangat asthaya tat 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 yat ayukta nathas chakshusmatanda ivaniyamanaha. He says that, my dear Priyavat, according to our association with different modes of material nature, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gives us our specific bodies and happiness and distress we achieve. One must therefore remain situated as he is and be conducted by the Supreme Lord, exactly as a blind man is led by a person who has eyes with which to see. So, the injunctions of the Shastras are like the we are blind, but injunctions of Shastras are what makes us perform activity. So he is to be conducted by the Supreme Lord exactly as a blind man, led by a person whose eyes. So we should know Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya. So the knowledge of the scriptures are actually the real light, which will make us see this world. This should be understood clearly, that we are led in the direction properly by the Shastras. If I think I know, it is foolishness. I should know I am a blind person, I don't know anything. So material means, by material means one cannot avoid happiness and distress unique to this particular body. Wow, such a nice point. What Prabhupada is trying to understand. By material means one cannot avoid happiness and distress unique to this particular body. That means material arrangements. Material means cannot reduce suffering, which is unique for us. That means we have to suffer in a particular way. Like people who has a female body, they say, why did I get female body? Somebody who has, because they have to undergo the child is born and they have some particular problems. So they say, this is a unique problem of that particular body. You cannot stop it. And somebody has a body which is little heavy. They are they are little more healthy, overweight. They say, Arey, why did I get this? That their hormones are like that. No matter how much they eat, their body is going to become very heavy. And somebody has a complexion in a particular way. This is why I am not fair, why am I so dark. This is unique to your body. Just go through it by material means. Now some may say, Proji, we have weight loss programs, we have, no, we can change our, what do you say, color complexion. Like a famous pop singer, he changed. He was in dark complexion, he made into white, but he paid so much for it. The karma, what he has to go through, like the pain he has to go through was sufficient. The pain is like uh, same as having this pain. So it did not happen by, it looks like material means. It is unnatural and it unnecessarily causes distress. Like some asuras, the demons and all, they do great austerities, and then they get a talent of, like, what is it, the siddhi of changing themselves. They can look very beautiful, but they are actually demons. But they went to so much material means. So, but in general, there are exceptions. So there are 84 lakh species who destined to enjoy and suffer a certain amount of happiness and distress. This we cannot change, for the happiness and distress are ordained by the Supreme Lord in accordance with those decisions we have received our body. Since we cannot avoid pain, so very important instruction. Since we cannot avoid pain, we must agree to be directed by him, just as a blind man is led by a person who has eyes. Under any circumstances, if we remain in the condition allotted to us by the Supreme Lord and follow his instructions, we will become perfect. So the main purpose of life is to follow the instructions of Supreme Lord. It is such instructions that constitute one's religion or occupational duty. Same thing in so many ways Brahmaji is explaining. See, he is coming and he want to convince Priyavrat that you should get married and take care of the kingdom. And now what he is telling, he comes and tells, my dear Priyavrat, I came because the will of the Lord only. Because I don't act on my own. So my coming is will of the Lord. Don't be jealous of the Supreme Lord. And then he said, these instructions are like the rope on the bull which tied. So you have to follow it. Now he is telling, according to different bodies, different types of sufferings are given. You just have to accept it. You cannot disobey them. And now he is telling, a blind man, we should always consider ourselves blind. And then you have to know that a blind man is there, and you have to, you should be guided by a person who has eyes. And the Lord's instructions are like the guiding force, and we should consider ourselves blind. So only one theme Brahma is again and again and again telling, follow the authority of the Supreme Lord, and he is giving various reasons and various ways he is explaining. So these are the very perfect means if you want to convince somebody of something, and you are authority, and you should tell all these points, all the logics. Array, you have to suffer, you got the body. You cannot say, I have this, I don't want to do this. No. You have a human body, you should wake up early morning and take cold water bath. You cannot say, I will not obey, I will sleep late and I will. No. You are given a human body, you have to obey, that's all. I don't want to do certain things. No, the Shastra is telling. But I know myself. No, consider yourself as a blind man. And you just follow what Shastra is telling. You are seeing? This process of surrender by following the instructions of Supreme Lord is not meant for any particular caste or creed. A Brahmana can surrender, so can a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or a Shudra. Everyone can adopt this process as stated. So, Chakshu Smitanda Iva Nityamanaha. One should follow the Lord the way a blind man follows a person who has eyes. So, Manmana Bhav Madbhakto Madhyadivam Namaskuru. So, this is the instruction Lord is given. And Prabhupada is writing, The previous verse has given the analogy of bull moving under the direction of the driver of a bull cart. The bull, being completely surrendered to the driver, remain wherever he wants to place them and eat whatever he wants them to eat. Similarly, being completely surrendered Supreme Lord, we should not aspire for happiness or regret distress. We must be satisfied with the position allotted to us by the Lord. So don't complain. We should not aspire for happiness also, regret distress also. Such a tattena kampas samikshavano. So we should not do both of them. We must be satisfied with the position allotted to us by the Supreme Lord. No complaints. That means no grudges, no jealousy, no envy. So we are envious, then we start complaining. We say, okay, Lord, this is what you want. Fine with me. We should follow the path of devotional service and not be dissatisfied with the happiness and distress He has given. People in mode of passion and ignorance generally cannot understand the plan of Supreme Lord, but the human form affords when the special privilege to understand this plan, engage in devotional service, and elevate to the highest position of perfection. So people are not able to hear. We have to follow this, the highest privilege. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nameva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatiranyata. Thus all impediments to his progress will be cut to pieces. In conclusion, therefore, we must be satisfied in whatever position we have been put into by the Supreme Lord, and we should try to engage ourselves in his devotional service. Even if one is liberated, he nevertheless accepts the body he has received according to his past karma. Without misconceptions, however, he regards his enjoyment as suffering due to that karma, and the way an awakened person regards a dream he has while sleeping, he thus remains steadfast and never works to achieve achieve another material body under the influence of modes of material nature. Now another instruction is giving, even if you are liberated, Prabhupada says, but I am liberated. No, you accept the body you have received according to your past karma without misconception. However, he regards his enjoyment as suffering due to his karma, the way an awakened person regards a dream while sleep. This is such a nice analogy. He says that, okay, if you are I am liberated, I'll just act on the. He says, but still you got a body, so you act accordingly. Then I will suffer, na? But no, because you are liberated, your suffering is how a person considers his dream. That's how it is considered. So I am in a dream. So like yesterday I got very bad dream. You are writing your exam in the school. So such dreams I frequently get. I'm again going for my school exam. It's a big nightmare for me. So you are getting such nightmare. Now when you wake up, you say, oh, it's just a dream. I am taking it seriously. So similarly, a liberated person, even though he has wife, children and all the family affairs, still he understands, so it's a dream only. Why should I take it seriously? He thus remains steadfast and never works to achieve another material body under the influence of three modes of material nature. So this is such a nice analogy. So Prabhupada is writing the purport. The difference between a liberated and a conditioned soul is that the conditioned soul is under the concept of bodily life, whereas liberated person knows that he is not the body but a spirit different. So Privarat may have thought that although a conditioned soul is forced according to laws of nature, why should he, who was far advanced in spiritual understanding, accept some kind of bondage and impediments in spiritual advancement? So this is what the argument may be. I am already liberated, na? Why should I need it? To answer his doubt, Brahma informed him that even those who are liberated do not resent accepting in present body. Like Janak Maharaj example is given. He is acting. While sleeping, one dreams many unreal things, but when he awakens, he disregards them and makes spiritual progress in factual life. Similarly, a liberated person who has completely understood that he is not the body but spirit soul disregards past activities performed in ignorance and performs his present activity in such a way that they produce no reaction. So, very all the nice logics are presented here, very systematic. That means to convince Priyavrat Maharaj is not an easy thing. Brahma has to come down. Then only you get convince him. Because Swayambhu Manu was not able to give such nice arguments. And Brahma has to come and then he has to make the point. You see, this is how it is. So, and he says that a liberated person therefore does not uh, think about whether he has ignorantly done in the past. Instead, he acts in such a way that he will not produce another body for fruitive activities. Mamcho avyavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Actually, it's a very heavy, even for us also to heavy convincing somebody is such a difficult thing, and Brahma is doing the job. And भयं प्रमत्तस्य वनेष्वपि स्यात् यतस्य आस्ते सह सत्सपत्न्या जितेन्द्रियस्याथां रथेर्बुद्धस्य गृहाश्रमः किं नु करोत्यवध्यम्. He says that even if he goes from forest to forest, one who is not self controlled must always fear material bondage because he is living with 6 co wives, the mind and knowledge acquiring senses. Even household life, however, cannot harm a self satisfied learned man who has conquered his senses. Now, people may argue why it is compared to wife, why not husband? So the problem is not with the wife, the problem is the man. That's why it is not problem of women. It is a problem of man. Man has this lauding mentality, so that's why he need wife. If he is, he want to be Purusha Bhava is there. He want to give protection. He want to give. He want to take service. He want to do all these things. So that mentality is what is condemned. And then he's saying, if you have that mentality, so a mentality of lording over, and then you have the mentality of uh, you want to give protection. And then a person want to get service or enjoyment. So if all these Purusha Bhavas are there, then what happens? Then a person is already living with 6 co-wives. The mind and knowledge and acquiring senses. So this is what happens. Then he will have 6 wives, 6 co-wives. That means they always fight. But a householder life, however, cannot harm himself if he is satisfied. So cannot harm if he is having a attitude of service. And humility. So if he has these things, then he will not get entangled. If he has this Purusha Bhava, then he has so many wives. So that is the point. Nartam Das Thakur has sung that Griheva Vaneva Thake Ha Gauranga Bole Dakhe. Whether one is situated in forest or at home, if he is engaged in the devotional service of Lord Chaitanya, he is liberated person. Here, this is also repeated. For one who has not controlled his senses, going to forest to become a so-called yogi is meaningless because his uncontrolled mind and senses are going with him. He cannot achieve anything, even by giving up household life and staying in the forest. Formerly, many mercantile men from the up country of India used to go to Bengal, and thus there is a familiar saying, if you go to Bengal, your fortune will go with you. Our first concern, therefore, should be to control the senses. Since the senses cannot be controlled unless engaged in devotional service of the Lord, our most important duty is engage the senses in devotional service. Sikena Rishikesha Sevanam. And so here, that is what Brahma is telling. Indicates that instead of going to forest with uncontrolled senses, it is better and more secure to engage the senses in the service of Lord. Even householder life can do no harm to a self-controlled person acting in this way. Iha esya harayar dase karmana manasa gira nikla swas api avastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. This is what Rupa Goswami says. That regardless of one's circumstances, if one fully engaged in activities of with his body and mind in devotional service, he should to be understood a liberated person. So here Prabodhan Saraswati also says, Durantendriya Kala Sarpa Patali Pokta Damshtrayate. The sense organs are certainly great enemies, and they are therefore compared to venomous serpents. However, if the venomous serpent is bereft of its poisonous fangs, it is no longer fearful. Similarly, if the senses are engaged in service of Lord, then there is no problem. We have to dovetail it properly. So this is the point that is told. And the next verse says, Yah Sat Sapatnyan Vijigishamano Griheshu Nivishya Yateta Puravam Atyeti Durgha Shrita Urchitarin Kshineshu Kamam Vicharet Vipaschit. One who is situated in the household life and who systematically conquers his mind and sense organs is like a king in his fortress who conquers his powerful enemies. After one has been trained in household life and his lusty desires has been discarded, he can move anywhere without danger. So he is giving him assurance. He told him, now enter, follow the order of Supreme Lord. Primat Maharaj says, I am liberated. Arey, you are liberated still. If you are liberated also, you do it because it will be like a dream for you. Not get affected, don't worry. Then in the previous verse, he is telling that that is fine, but he says that even if you are not controlled, your senses are like co-wives. They'll anyway trouble you. So better is to live in the family life with and trying to then you try to conquer your mind and senses. It is safe also. Whenever you try to fall down, wife is there to protect. She is like considered to a fortress who gives protection to the husband because his senses are sometimes going astray. So wife makes sure that he does not do it. He is properly situated. So that is the advantage in being in a family life. Otherwise, if he is in the Himalayas and his suddenly senses are becoming wild, he is sitting in Himalayas for meditation, his senses are wild. So what he can do? he will not be able to concentrate. He will unnecessarily fall down. He will remain a mithyachari. So that's what he is telling. After one has been trained in household life and his lusty desires have been decreased, one can move anywhere without danger. So Vedic system of Varnashrama is very scientific, and its entire purpose is to enable one to control the senses. Before entering household life, a student is fully trained to become Jitendriya, a conqueror of senses. Such a mature student is allowed to become a householder. And because he has first trained in conquering his senses, he retires from household life and becomes vanaprastha as soon as the strong waves of youthful life are past, and he reaches the verge of old age at 50 years or slightly more. Then, after being further trained, he accepts sannyas. He is then a fully learned and renounced person who can move anywhere and everywhere without fear of being captivated by material desires. The senses are considered very powerful enemies. As a king is a strong fortress, can conquer powerful enemies, so a householder in Grahastha ashram household life can conquer the lusty desires of youth and be very secure when he takes vanaprastha and sannyas. So we'll end here. Any questions, comments? Yes, Bir Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavatam. Prabhu, this Vanaprastha and sannyas, is it, I mean, in today's scenario, is it recommended or it is just given in Shastra, and how to understand this?
Vanaprastha, one has to go through it, bro. It is not, we cannot, after some time, cannot take responsibility of family and continue like that. After some time, person can be in family, but he should not continue getting involved in the matters. He should focus on spirituality. So sannyas is not so much recommended in Kali Yuga. Only for preaching sannyas is there, but vanaprastha is there. You should practice
So,
vanaprastha ashram.
Vanaprastha literally means leave the house and go.
No
It
need
is
of
that way?
leaving house, but not getting involved in the family affairs so much and focusing all time in spiritual activities. So that is recommended.
Right.
So
Thank you.
his percentage of family involvement should be maybe 10% or 15%, and 85% time is for spirituality. Basic minimum like that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you all very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shila Prabhu. If we are interested, we can have tomorrow Nityantaradasi class. Uh, if uh, if you are want, we can discuss on Nityanand Prabhu tomorrow morning. If you are somebody is willing to come, you let us know. Then we will do it. Otherwise, happy Nityantaradasi. Hari Bol.